What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, man, the Phenomenal. I shouldn't even did that shit. That shit was like, I don't want to say the word, but let's try that again. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, man, the Phenomenal One, ATH the Great, man, back here with another video, man. I want to welcome y'all to the Belt Hobby episode 7. Give y'all a little bit of history lesson here with me and just bring y'all up to speed on to everything. I kind of talked about this in the Belt Hobby 5 on how to buy belts. Okay, so in this one, I've had this conversation a couple times with my buddies, you know, over probably over the past few weeks. And I had this guy in the most recent having this conversation was just last week with my good buddy Todd. So shouts out to Todd. We were discussing about the whole belt hobby as a whole and what it has become into since we got into it. So I'm going to take you guys back 2013. That's when I got my first belt, which was a 2mm big gold. I think I ended up getting a spinner undisputed, and then it just kind of went from there. So I've been in the belt hobby since then. Back when before that, I think I did maybe about a good 8 to almost a year just research on belts, learning the differences between the belts, learning what was what and all that type of stuff like that. You know, I'll be the first to admit to you guys that I did not even know the difference between a commemorative and a replica title. I didn't know it was one that was metal and one that was plastic and all that other shit. I didn't know that prior to starting to do my research on this belt hobby. It was a few guys that I would watch when I, you know, so far as learning, you know, everything about the belts and stuff like that, you know, and a lot of their videos I would watch, and I'm not going to say I looked up to them, but, you know, I thought they were pretty cool. But then, you know, as I got into the hobby and started to see how these guys act, I was like, dang, these motherfuckers really some assholes. Things started to take off for me in this belt hobby when I ran across these guys that I'm about to mention that are still my friends to this day. And that's Jose O21, Todd Masawoka, and as well as George, Gmail for Life, and Nelson Flores. When I ran across those 4 guys, everything kind of took off for me. Those guys kind of took me under their wing and kind of taught me a whole bunch of things about this belt hobby itself. You know, and like I always say, I know if you guys follow me on Facebook, Instagram, I do always make a quote that Todd once told me, telling me, you know, if you respect the game gonna respect you. And, you know, also you gotta pay to play. You have those two things, this belt hobby will be really good to you. And what I mean by really being good to you, I've had the opportunity and the chance to have, you know, collectively over the years, I've probably had pretty much every belt you probably can think of. And, you know, some belts that I probably maybe had 2 or 3 times. A lot of belts that you guys, you know, you kind of fiend for that you want. You know, like, you know, some people trip out when I tell them I've had like 3, probably I think 4 Smoking Skulls, WWE, WWF, you know, or when I tell people, you know, that I've had like 3 rated R spinners and you know, some of these belts that are hard to get their hands on. You know, I've had the WWF Big Eagle before, you know, and, you know, some of these, like I said, a lot of these belts that are hard to get their hands on. I think those guys, before that, you know, I got a lot of spinners from Todd. Like about 2 of my spinners I got from him, you know what I'm saying? And it was just one of those things where I would mention to him, like, man, I really want a rated R spinner. And like 2 weeks later, he had it. And we work out a deal, you know what I'm saying, to get it. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. Same thing with Jose. I think with me and him, it was like the big logo, the one The Rock debuted. And I really wanted the title. But, you know, I was trying to wait, or I think, you know, of course they had the version 1 with them sunken in ass plates and all that crap. And then, you know, the V2 and finally the V3 came out, and they're saying, you know, Jose had one. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, and it's other belts too, because I think I got a Smoking Skull from him. I got countless belts from him, you know, and stuff like that. And then, you know, like I mentioned in another video, you know, so far as like with George is with the history of all this stuff, or, you know, like that guy, like I said, man, he just knows his shit when it comes to these belts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you got a question about a certain belt or a certain style or something, he knows it. So it's like, you know, with him, with his knowledge, that's what helps to know, oh, well, you know what, nah, I better not fuck with that shit, or nah, I better not mess with that. You know what I'm saying? So even with Nelson, you know what I mean, it just, you know, those guys did a lot for me in this belt hobby, you know, and it was, for a long time, it was a beautiful, fun thing. You know, things were fair and stuff like that. So with that being said, you know, like this whole Facebook belt group thing started shit with CBU. Let's just be honest, you know, because before CBU, the only belt group that was out was Belt Talk. Then CBU came, and now you got all these other groups that pretty much they kind of mimic what was started over at CBU, you know, and they kind of got it, and that's not taken away from any of the popular belt groups that are now, and I'm going to get to these belt groups here in a second. But, you know, a lot of that stuff was kind of started from CBU and probably even Belt Talk as well. Because there's probably some things that were taken from Belt Talk and incorporated into CBU. It was a way to catch scammers and so people wouldn't get fucked over and stuff like that. Now, sometimes you just can't, I guess some of these scammers just can't help themselves, and some of these scammers took that platform and of course used it the wrong way, just like anything else with life. Some people just fuck it up for everybody. That's just a part of life, you know what I'm saying? But having those belt groups, it was, you know, it helped out a lot. So I'm on the subject of belt groups. I'll go ahead and I'll talk about the belt groups and what I think about what they have done for the belt hobby. So I mentioned some of the good things because the belt groups do help you not get scammed, you know, to the best of their ability, because it's people that do scamming within the group, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I don't too much care for the belt groups anymore, and I've gotten out of all the belt groups. The only one I'm in is CBU, but I've gotten out of all the belt groups because it's like a whole bunch of women just bickering over bullshit. I'm just being fucking honest. Sometimes you got to ask some of these dudes, do you wear motherfucking briefs or boxers, or do you wear fucking panties in a thong? And because some of the littlest fucking things get blown out of proportion, or somebody doesn't like somebody else's opinion on something. So, you know, for instance, it can be something as petty as, you know, well, I think that title is the best title ever made, and then because somebody else think another title was the best title made, that begins a fucking argument. And, or, you know, or who is the best fucking goddamn person who does leather, or the best person that does restoning, or the best person that does this, or the best person that walks down the stairs, or who has the best entrance in the WWE. And I mean, it's just bullshit. And I have to sit back and look at this shit, and I said, you know, this grown-ass men doing this shit. Grown-ass motherfucking men that probably got kids and all that shit over here bickering and arguing over motherfucking leather and goddamn metal. That just blows my mind. I didn't really want to deal with all that type of stuff. And then, you know, like I said, you have these, you know, all these, and then all of a sudden all these goddamn raffles and shit start showing up. And like I said, if the raffle is going to be to benefit the community and all that type of shit, and at one point in time I felt like it was, but then it just, I mean, we all know that shit now is kind of just some bullshit, you know. And I know my buddy P. Smith made a video about it, and I think he got just pretty much blasted for doing it, but I'm gonna fucking say it because it's what the fucking truth is, you know. You got these guys out here holding these raffles, and they making twice the fucking money off a goddamn belt. So I'm not gonna sit here and go into detail about that. Y'all motherfuckers can do math. I'm pretty sure basic ass fucking math. You know what I'm saying? So you got a belt that's worth $4 something, and these people got 30 and 40 fucking slots at $20 a piece, or $15 or $30 a piece. Motherfucker, you do the math. You know what I'm saying? So, and to me, like I said, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. And to me, that kind of is wrong. Period. That's my opinion on it. That's what I think about it. That's another reason why I don't really deal with the belt groups. Now, if you're a newcomer and you're coming into this, I don't think you really want to be fucking with them belt groups like that just yet. I think you want to get some time under you before you go messing with those belt groups, because the belt groups kind of took my love away from the hobby for a while. And I kind of had to step back, and I'm just now recently starting to get back into the love of this hobby again. And that's probably why y'all guys are seeing so many videos get dropped on it, because yes, I am starting to get back into the love of the hobby. But I did lose it because it just, all this bickering and all that shit like that. And the thing about it is, we can sit and make 40 billion videos and shit ain't gonna stop. People still gonna bicker and fight and scam and do a lowball and all this other shit. They still gonna do it. So it's no point of, it's just part of the game. So, so that's why I stay away from belt groups now. I kind of just stay in my own lane, do my own thing. I'm trying to build my collection back up to what I once had it, and kind of just have the things I want in my collection. So, I had to step away from the belt groups in order to do that. Now, that's another way where the belt groups do help you. You know what I'm saying? In a way too. Because yeah, they may have something may pop up on there that's probably not on WWE Shop. Somebody's probably selling it for crazy on eBay, which I'm gonna get to that shit in a second. Or on Amazon or whatever the case may be. For instance, right now, I had the 4 mil WWE version of the Big Gold, and I ended up selling it, and I regret fucking selling it. Now I'm looking for one, and it's not one on WWE Shop at all, and I don't run across them on eBay. So, and I'm pretty sure if I want to obtain another one, I'm gonna pay a pretty penny for it. So, that's where belt groups can turn around and help you. For me, the belt group thing ain't for me. It may not be for you. It may be for other people. But that's all I can really say about the belt groups is just watch out, and I think in a way it's so far as what it's done for the belt hobby, it's almost 50-50 for me. It's done some great things for it, but then it's done some fucked up shit for it too. eBay. Oh my God. eBay has, I'm just done. I'm just going to say it. eBay has just fucked it all up. Because you're seeing way too many bad looking bootlegs. I mean, horrible. And I'm pretty sure you guys get on there and y'all see. And that's all you gotta do is look at the picture for 2 seconds to know the damn difference in that. You know what I'm saying? But those things have just flooded eBay. I know where they're coming from. I'm not saying it on here. I know where they're coming from. Y'all guys just beware when you on eBay and you thinking that you're going to get a universal title for motherfucking $299 or $150, it's probably not what you think. I used to do a lot of purchasing from eBay. That's how I kind of, built my belt collection to start with, is with a lot of things through eBay. Finding, you rarely find steals on there now. I remember I used to find them all the time on eBay, but, I think it comes to the point now to where a lot of people like to buy low, but they sell high. I think that's just a problem, as well. Because you got people that want to sell, I don't care what it is, but you got some people that want to sell a WWF Attitude Era belt that's all the way the fuck scratched up. You know what I'm saying? And they want to sell it for like double the damn price, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe it got maybe a re-leather, and Lord please, and I'm going to get to that in a fucking second with these goddamn autographs. The plates and shit and the belt is still fucked up, you know what I'm saying? So, it's probably not worth the $500 or $600 you trying to sell it for. Again, that's just my opinion on it. But, eBay, they just have so many goddamn bootlegs on there, man, and it's just really made it to where you don't even want to look for belts on eBay anymore. Sometimes I get on there and look, but me, I know the differences. Or if I get any type of link sent by any of my friends that are in a belt group or something like that, or in our group chat, where they send certain leaks of certain belts, and stuff like that. But for the most part, man, those things are flooded with bootlegs and these Toys R Us versions of the belt. You got people selling these things for $200, $250, and all that type of shit. And to be totally honest with you guys, if you pay that much for that belt, don't do that. I'm not going to call you stupid or nothing like that. Just don't do that. Why? If you can't spend that much money, trust me, Toys R Us will have them on sale for $79.99. Trust me, I've seen it plenty of times. So just chill back, for a minute and do that and hold your $250. If you won't spend $250 on something, wait till WWE have a sale and buy another belt that's on sale and get you a replica. It's my opinion on that. Moving along to the next thing I said I was going to talk about, you guys, man, this is just a small side note, man. Some people, and I'm not going to sit and say, well, the autographs are not worth the shit, because to some people they are. Some people think that the autographs make the belt value go up. I really don't want to get into that because I think that's just that person's opinion. And I know some people maybe, some people, the people that don't think autographs are worth the shit, like, because me personally, I don't think they're worth the shit. But, yet and still, to some people, they are. So I don't want to knock those people that think that their belt is worth a little bit more because they have an autograph. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't know who they're going to sell it to. Because the person that they may sell it to, they may really want that autograph. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it just varies. Me personally, I don't like the autographs on the fucking belt, on the leather. I don't like autographs all over the belt. That's just me. I'm gonna do that if I have like a certain strap. I have an extra strap too, for WWE version, but WWE Championship. I would take that and get that shit signed. You can sign all on that, but I'm not gonna put it on my put the plates and stuff on there. You know what I'm saying? That's just not worth it. If I'm gonna do that, then yeah, I'd rather go buy me a Toys R Us version or a commemorative or something like that for that. But then yet and still, I'm not fit to try to sell it to somebody for triple the damn money because it has all these autographs on it. But yet and still, like I said, to some people, that means something. But do I think it fucks up the belt hobby? Not really, but, some people it may do. The next thing, so far as with the belt hobby and where I think it is, this is something that I've probably talked about in every last one of these videos like this. And that's talking about the low balling and the high buying, in other words, or the high selling. That is just probably forever going to be a problem where people lowball to get shit and then try to sell shit high. Like, that is always going to be a problem. I don't like that shit at all. I think maybe with some things you need to check the market value because some things are worth a little bit more than, than what they perceive to be. Like I said, I know this thing here with that WWF, I don't care how many millimeters it is, but this one right here with the WWF version of it, it's just worth a lot of money, man. It just is. That F means a lot to them. You know what I'm saying? For me, it once did. You know what I'm saying? But after having one, it was like, okay, well, yeah, whatever. So, it's just one of those things. But, you do have a lot of folks out here, man, that they try to buy a brand, and that just really gets under my skin where you see somebody trying to buy something like that, or Universal, or whatever. You see somebody posting, somebody come putting on there, well, man, what you think, man, well, how low will you go? I hate that fucking question, how low will you go? Bitch, the price I put up here, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not selling it for WWE price. I'm selling it a little bit lower than that. You know what I'm saying? So, for the most part, you know what I'm saying? But, you got some people, man, they want to lowball you, man. And even most of them, even if you did probably go on their price, give it about a week, you're going to see them selling it for twice as much. That's just how this shit goes sometimes. Another thing, scamming, that shit ain't gonna never stop. You're just gonna have people trying to get over all the time. That's just what people do in this shit. They try to get over all the time, but yet and still, just understand that those people eventually end up fizzing out. People get away with it for a longer time than others. But then yet and still, y'all guys, this is the thing that kills me with this shit, is that y'all guys know some of these guys that scam and then you still do business with them. Or they're still doing business within your groups and stuff like that. Like that, I've never understood that. And, I'm really not going to mention anybody's names. I know if my buddies are watching this shit, or people even from other groups watching this shit probably know a couple of names right off the top of their head that have scammed countless people, and they may still be doing business within groups. Another thing, this belt hobby has turned there's a lot of tough guys in this shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of tough guys. Everybody in the belt hobby is a tough guy. The groups have really kind of built a lot of tough guys. I was having a discussion with my one of my friends, Oscar, over at the wrestling store, and I was telling him it's like two people in this belt hobby to me. You know what I'm saying? You got people that the hobby makes them, and then you got people that they make the hobby. In other words, the hobby, the people that I talk about that where the hobby makes them, in other words, they're fucking nobody outside of the damn hobby. You know what I'm saying? When they get out of the groups or whatever the fuck it is, they're a fucking nobody. People that make the hobby are the people that come in and do some good things and pretty much help the hobby elevate. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And they're well respected within the hobby as well as outside of the hobby as a person. I think in this hobby you have a lot of guys where the hobby has made them where they kind of have taken over this hobby, and I think that's one of the reasons why it lacks so much. Everything in the hobby is not all bad. It is some, like I said, it's some good things in this. It's some very good things in it. Like I said, the friendships that you turn around and you make. I mentioned some guys earlier, and I'll mention them again. Like so far as with Jose, Todd, George, Robert, Nelson, P. Smitty, and a couple other guys that I've met so far in this hobby where we're friends outside of it, and we talk about other things besides belts. We see how each other is doing and stuff like that, and we're just a message away from each other. So that's something you can never take away, and that's something that's always good that comes out of this hobby. It's a lot to gain. Like I said, like I was taught, you got to have respect in this game. And like I said, I think you have respect in this game, and it'll take you a long way. A lot of you guys need to understand too, you gotta fucking pay to play, man. That's just, I can't say that enough. I probably said that saying in so many videos, man, but you really do, because you just gotta understand it coming into this shit. This is not a cheap hobby. It's a very expensive hobby. I think we all know that, and a lot of money goes dishes in and out of this hobby. So but I think if you understand that and know that and respect that, this hobby will take you a long way, and it'll be good to you. Show no lack of respect for that, or don't fucking care, this, that, and the third, then that's how you create, to me, that's how you create these scamming motherfuckers and people that's always trying to get over and and stuff like that. I gotta watch for these snakes out here. There's a lot of snakes in this shit. And in the groups again, you have guys in these groups that that will talk about each other or be friends in one group and then go to another group and then talk about that person over in another group. That happens a lot. And this is grown men doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? So you have that go on a lot in this shit. And so you kind of got to watch the people that you do associate yourself with in this, because a lot of people do that. They'll worship something, well, not necessarily worship, but they'll basically, fuck it, that's what I call it. I said they'll dick ride somebody and then turn around and be in another group talking about them like a dog. The one thing I can't stress enough as well in this hobby is that, man, make sure that you're buying and spending your money how you want to. If you like bootlegs, if you like commemoratives, if you like replicas, if you like real belts, you make sure you spend your money where you want to. I've had a bunch of people come ask me, well, I know you seem to have had everything, but why you don't get real belts? I'm just not spending that type of money on a belt. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not what I'm gonna do. And I don't have anything against real belts. I've had plenty of opportunities to get a real belts, but I'm just not into that. I rather stick with my replicas, as those are the ones I like, the metal ones. I don't too much care for the commemorative ones. The Toys R Us version ones are cool, but like I said, even with those are, if I'm gonna get one of those, just like with my other one, I'm gonna keep it in the box. That's just me. It's just a piece to add to the collection. So, and even the Toys R Us version one I didn't even have it long. I ended up selling it, you know what I mean? Like that, and I didn't sell it for no crazy price, neither. Awesome hobby, man, once you get into it and, do right by it, man. It's a beautiful thing, but like I think I said it in one of my other videos, man, like at the end of the day, we are all blessed to be able to obtain these things. And if you have, like to me, if you have more than one belt is a blessing. But if you have multiple belts and you got a big old wall and collection of these mugs, man, you really have to be humble and you really have to be thankful for that, because, man, there's some people out here, man, that can't even get one, or that's all they really can have is one. And if they want a new one, they're going to have to get rid of the one they got to get a new one, or, or something like that, or they can't even get that one. Always been thankful and humble for the things that I do have. And really, that's with everything that I do have. It's not just belts, man. It's with everything because, you know, like I said, I didn't come up have the best of life, you know what I'm saying, at all, you know, but, you know, to be able to, you know, a lot of these things, like I tell people all the time, man, I had the little fucking phone belts and shit, you know, or whatever back then. And you know, to be able to have these things now, you know, like it's beyond a blessing to me. But of course, man, everybody doesn't look at it the way I do. Some people feel like they're entitled to it, and you know, and it's a lot of those people that make the hobby fucked up. I did mention a lot. I said a lot, you know, in this video. You know, to me overall, I think the belt hobby is, you know, personally, man, I think it's what you make it. I think it's fucked up right now. You know, in some areas, yeah, it is fucked up. But if you think that it's just a bad hobby to get into, then, you know, you might not want to get into it. But if you think it's good, it's good. But I think also it is what you make it, just like life. It's the relationships you build and the friendships you build and the people you get yourself around and how you treat other people. That's what's going to make the belt hobby good or bad for you. Overall, you know, like I said, I think it's what you make it. And it's a lot of shit that's fucked up. But, you know, it's a good thing. It's a good hobby, especially if you're a wrestling fan like myself and you love pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? It's an awesome thing for us. But we got to also remember, as being in the hobby, we got to take care of it as well. You know what I'm saying? And not, you know, destroy it. You know, because for a minute, that's how I felt. That this hobby was straight up fucking destroyed. And, you know, and maybe in some ways it is. But, you know, I'm not really looking at that anymore. For me, it's doing what all the way 100 what I want to do in it and keep my love for it. You know, because I'm not going to lie, I did let all of that negative stuff kind of push me away from it. And I actually really, you know, really love the hobby. You know, and love collecting these things and having these things. So, you know, I have to get away from that and you know, get myself back to it. And in this video right here, man, and you know, I hope, you know, I went over a little bit of history, told you a little bit about the belt hobby and things like that, and some things to look out for you guys. So, you know, that's episode 7. Episode 8 will be up, but it'll be a while before I do episode 8. I got to get some reactions from the last 2 that I did, and I also got to figure out some other stuff to talk about for episode 8. So, you know, you guys stay tuned for that. So, it's your boy, man, the phenomenal one, ATH the Great Man, and I'm out. Peace. You got 10 seconds. Do something within the 10 seconds.